I see it. It's coming all up.
All right, everyone. What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Draw and Talk. It's your boy, Tyler. I'm at a different angle right now because I am using my main monitor that I normally stream with to watch the chat and to make sure that everyone's having a silly goose time, but also because it's imperative today that I use my drawing tablet for this stream, because if you didn't notice, today's not an episode of Draw and Talk. It is an episode of Write and Draw. My friend Frank has taken over the channel with this idea that we're going to see how it plays out, and we'll see if it was a good idea or a bad idea. So, Frank, thanks for being on the show today.
Thanks for having me with this experiment.
It is going to be an experiment, but I think we're going to have a good time. I mean, we have 11 people watching right now. We've got Chelsea McBean with 3 question marks. We've got Indie Comics Cast. What's up, brother? How you doing, Joe? We got Ichthus saying, why call Write and Draw if you can call Draw and Write? Because Frank's in charge, so we got to put the right in front of it.
Just Write and Talk, but Tyler's like, I got to be in there somewhere. So.
Oh, man. Zach says, can't wait. Love the streams. Calvary Collective. My body is ready. All right, guys. So kind of what the plan is for this stream. Oh, it says, you said mighty name. I don't know. Thank you. I don't know. We don't. So how this is, Frank, explain how this is going to work.
So this is the concept. You guys who are watching are going to come up with some ideas, general ideas for not a whole story, but maybe a scene, something that happens, a premise, a scene. And Tyler's going to draw it, this scene, and I'm going to write it while we presumably talk about something. We haven't.
So essentially, if someone goes a boy and a girl in a forest, you will then write that scene, and whatever happens, and then I will also write it. I will draw it simultaneously.
Let's get a little more specific. So at least maybe the general premise is that at some point in time, the thing I'm writing about is the thing you're drawing.
Gotcha.
Maybe so for example, girl beats the crap out of boy in forest. Let's get an action in there, something that's taking place, not just kind of a setting.
Scene. Gotcha. Okay, so everyone who's watching, give us a premise, give us a scene, and then Frank will write it, and then I will draw it, and then at the end of the show, we will showcase. He'll read the story, and we'll showcase the art. Now, before we get into this, please, guys, put in your premises in the chat. Give us some fun things to do. Now, also, besides Frank being here because he's a cool guy and a friend of mine, he also has a project that he wants to plug. Let me pull that up real quick. It's for his new project called Serialized, which you can sign up for on franktherewriter.com. The link is in the description. I will also put it into the chat right now. Frank, tell us a little bit about Serialized.
So what Serialized is, it's a short story collection of 12 short stories. They're standalone. You can just kind of start reading anyone and understand what's going on. But at the same time, there's a slim thread that's weaving them all together. That's going to be revealed in the end about how these various stories are puzzle pieces that are going to get together and what's exactly going on. What's the bigger picture? So I've been doing it throughout. I started in June. It's going to go every Monday throughout the month of June, July, and then August. I'm releasing a new episode in the story or a new episode in the collection. And by signing up, I would send the stories directly to your inbox, but I also post every new installment on my website as they're released. So it's been fun. People have been enjoying it, and I can't wait to wrap it up and see what people think about the whole thing.
One thing that I like about you, Frank, is that you're like there's two people that I want to be like in terms of writing, and it's you and a guy named John Della Rose, which I'm going to be having on my show next week, because you guys just don't let the whole, you guys write comics, but you don't let that stop you from writing prose, novels, short stories, and then now this serialized short stories. And so I think this is something cool. If you are a writer, who's watching this, and you're like, man, like I want to write stories, but I can't get an artist. Well, you're a writer. You don't have to make a comic book. You can write other stories.
Thanks, Tyler. One of the things I love about just storytelling in general is just challenging myself to do something new, to do something different, to try to tell a story through a different means, which is why comics are so fun, because there's so many tools in the toolbox to play around with and how to tell a story. Prose is a little bit different, but I could do stuff like this where I always want to do a short story collection, but I just didn't want to write 12 random short stories and bunch them all together. I wanted to play around with it and do something new, do something different. And I thought this free collection where I release it every single week would be interesting.
No, I think that's a really cool idea. So guys, go click on that link below. Guys, it's free stories. Put your first name in there, put your email address in. I'm part of Frank's email list. He's very good with like updating it, so jump on that. All right, let's see. And then also, I can't forget, I also have a Kickstarter going on right now for my graphic novel Entity. 100 plus page sci-fi graphic novel. We have 62 backers. Thank you guys so much. My record is 70. I would love to break 71. I will go over the moon if I get 71. But we're at 1800 right now. Super happy. Follow Camille as she tries to find the answers of her past. Her memory has been wiped. She's been told that she's part of this program called Project Genesis, where her and 50 other human beings, the last 50 human beings, are to meet up on a different planet and repopulate the human race, only for her to find out that all of that's been a lie. Earth hasn't been destroyed, but it's not in a good shape either. What's been controlling all of this? What's been controlling her life? Well, it's something called the Entity, and she's going to find out what it is. $20 for a 100 plus page graphic novel, free US shipping. Link is in the description. All right. That's my pitch. That's my pitch for the show. All right. Chat. We've got 18 people watching. Now let me say one more time what Frank and I are doing. We want you in the chat to write out a scene for us. Like, Frank said, boy beats up girl in the forest. Give us something cool, something fun. And then for the duration of the show, Frank is going to write this story, and then I'm going to draw the scene out. And then hopefully by the end of it, he will read us his story, and we'll see if my illustration goes along with this story. Like, what if it's boy fights, like girl fights boy. In your story, he's like really lanky, but I draw him like ridiculously like ripped.
I see Indie Comic Cast. I can't tell if this is a story idea. He just wrote a bunch of random stuff. Banana, air balloon, Nazi monster, superhuman, rabbit hero.
Well, Flip, if no one else gives us any story ideas, we might have to go with that one.
I'm already planning it out.
So right now, guys, the winning scene is this one. But if you can throw one out, we'll do and beat it. We'll do something else. Oh, here we got Cavalry Collective. Severely frugal assassin struggles to achieve his first hired kill.
That would be interesting.
A severely frugal assassin. Does that mean like it's like I'm imagining like Assassin's Creed, but he's wearing very minimal clothing because he doesn't want to spend too much money on his outfit.
Here, a group of friends are attacked by a mutant shark.
Well, there you go. That could be fun.
4 juvenile radioactive pro wrestling gators walk into an alley to meet a rival.
That's funny because that's Ichthus's comic that he's working on right now. That's the premise.
All right, what are you thinking?
I don't know. They've all been kind of good.
Let's get challenging. Let's go with Indie Cast. Let's banana, air balloon, Nazi monster, superhuman, rabbit hero.
All right. So somehow you're
hold on. I'm gonna mess around with this a little bit.
Okay.
So wait, hold on. I'm copying and pasting his thing. Banana, air balloon. So air balloon. That's a setting. We're in an air balloon.
Okay, so air balloon is the setting.
Our main character. I think I'm doing this just to be ridiculous. Our main character is a rabbit. He's the hero.
Okay.
See me while I'm doing it?
Yeah.
Rabbit.
Okay. And
He's
is he fighting is he fighting a Nazi monster?
He's fighting a Nazi. It has to be a flying Nazi monster.
Okay. So he's in an air balloon fighting a flying Nazi monster with a banana.
With he's fighting it with a banana. His weapon is a banana. How about it's a weapon that shoots bananas?
Oh, okay. I love it. I already know exactly. I already have the illustration in my head.
It's a banana gun. So this is actually going to be more seamless than we thought. We're going to be
all right. Well, okay.
Let me show things off as I'm figuring this out. So we got the banana, we got the Nazi monster. Wait, no, superhuman. It's a superhuman rabbit.
Okay.
So it's a rabbit with superpowers. Rabbit hero with superpowers.
What if the air balloon? What if he was on an air balloon and the air balloon part is like an inflated, like I don't know, Adolf Hitler head, and no, because it's his air balloon. Whose air balloon is it? Is it the flying Nazi monster?
It's his air balloon. No,
it's his. Okay,
the flying Nazi monster is just a flying monster.
It's a flying monster that's got
created by
Replicant in the chat goes, I would have gone with banana nunchucks.
Banana nunchucks. Okay. Now, fine. This is a collaboration. It's not a banana gun, it's banana nunchucks. The thing is though, is that if he's in a hot air balloon and he's fighting,
you don't want to shoot.
He needs long range weapons.
Well, how about this? He's shooting it, but I will on the sides in his pockets. I'll give him some banana nunchucks.
Fine. We got to work. He's got a banana gun and nunchucks.
Guys, this was Frank's idea. I don't remember when you messaged me, but I think it was like a month ago. You were like, "Hey, I have this idea."
I just wanted to see if I can write a story while carrying on a conversation. I think that was.
Is it possible for you to type and write? That's the name of the new channel, Type and Write.
Type and Write, I think those are the same thing. Write and talk.
I know, I work with someone who can do that, actually, and it's kind of scary.
All right, so he's in an air balloon. He's a rabbit with superpowers. No, I'm going to get rid of superpowers because that's just going to make it too complicated. He's just a rabbit hero who fights a flying Nazi monster with banana weapons. All right.
Okay.
All right, now we have to figure out what we're going to talk about.
I know. I'm like, because I'm like, okay, time to get into the zone. But everyone's going to be watching like the most silent YouTube,
the most silent interview ever.
Okay, and you've got the hardest part, so it's all on me. Okay, so in the chat, this is what I want you guys to do as well. Hold on, this will actually be kind of fun. Okay. All right, in the chat. All right, I somehow want. Okay, so if you are a writer, I want you guys to somehow like write a story as well, and artists do the same thing. Write a story that has something to do with banana, air balloon, Nazi monster, superhuman, rabbit hero, and writers do the exact same thing. And then let me pull up our Discord. In the Discord, the link is in the chat. Join it. There is a section in there called challenge submissions. Put in your challenge submission there. If we get any, that's cool. If not, no biggie. But if you want to write a story out and we'll read it out on air, write the story of banana, air balloon, Nazi monster, superhuman, rabbit hero, and we will read it out on air. If you're an artist, post your artwork there. This is a nuts idea, Frank.
I know. We need a topic. We need something to talk about.
Let's see.
You know what the latest news is? Are we going to just talk general pop culture? Or are we going to talk?
Well, right now I'm trying to get people to like. I've been trying to like go through like various DMs off of certain videos that I've been posting out on my YouTube.
You cause quite the controversy with your videos.
I know, and I try not to. I try to have like this universal message, but some people can't see it. Granted, I do sometimes pick some divisive people. I pick very divisive people to get said message.
People don't want to be universal nowadays. People want to be on a side.
That's true. Like people want to be on a team, and that's a huge problem. I think is people just want to be on a side. They want their team to win. We're not. I don't know. We're not playing for what's best. We're playing for what I want. I don't know.
This is getting too depressing.
Okay, how about this?
It's draw and talk about sad stuff.
Okay, let's see. So
this is so complicated as it was going to be because I'm not just writing. Now we got to Google parts of hot air balloon.
Oh, you're getting intense. My computer is like going crazy. If I get on an internet source, it's gonna fry. So I'm trying to
limits.
Yeah, I'm trying to limit. So right now I've got my air balloon. What's up, Wonk? How you doing? We're right now.
This is one of the weirdest things you do as a writer. You just spend probably 20% of the time just Googling parts of random things.
And then, can you imagine though, like if maybe we're being spied on, but some of the stuff that you research as a writer, so like some of the stuff that I've researched for my books, I'm sure if the FBI were to have seen that, they'd be like, this guy's nuts.
That's what every writer says.
Yeah,
you're either a serial killer or you're a writer. That's
a good thing. You're either a serial killer or you're a writer. Okay. Gosh, I don't know if this is. I'm trying to convey the Nazi part, and then people are going to see them
practically done already.
Huh?
You're practically done already.
This is just me scribbling. Well, I've got to do mine faster than you.
Have you never seen somebody in a hot air balloon?
Oh,
they're in the basket. They don't sit on the balloon.
Okay, so you want him sitting? Okay, in there. Okay, I figured my boy was Indiana Jonesing it. Okay,
imagine like booking a hot air balloon tour ride, and the guy just goes, "Yeah, hop on top of the balloon."
Well, Frank. Okay, let's see. Okay, how many? Okay, new composition of him in it. Oh, easy money. Easy money. Let's see. My brain hurts with this challenge. Think it's just humans to want to be on a team. Okay, so for this, what I'm gonna do for this one is there will be my hot air balloon. Let's see. And do I want? No, I don't like that either. Okay, what if I take my bunny out right there? And then I move this. Frank, you just had to have like a really hard idea for this show.
The dumbest thing I saw.
I don't know if you know Joel Rodriguez, but I tried to do like some kind of game with him once, and like a writing exercise game on a show, and then we got like 2 seconds in, and I was like, okay, this is dumb. Like, we're stopping. So far, this is kind of working out. We'll see. Let's see. Okay, so I know you're doing serialized, and you're also working on a new prose. What about comics? You working on any comics?
My next Kickstarter is going to be September. October.
Okay.
So I'm putting the finishing touches on that. That is going to be. This is like the first time I'm actually discussing this in a public setting. It's about a guy that gets stuck at a motel that's filled with a bunch of creepy guests.
Okay. How long is it? A one shot?
It's a one shot. Yeah, it's 24 pages. Just going to be a single issue, one shot, and it's a lot of fun because I kind of call it's like a Twilight Zone episode.
Oh, nice.
It slowly devolves to the point where it just gets weirder and weirder and weirder until it's just completely weird and just completely ridiculous.
Well, we could. I've been once my Kickstarter's done, my next project is Our Little Thing.
Our Little Thing? Oh, dropping hints.
Yeah. That's my next project is to pencil.
So let me see your monster. Let me see what it looks like. Oh, is that cheating?
I don't have.
That's considered.
No, that's not cheating. Well, right now my monster is just right here. It's gonna be in the foreground. He's got a little Nazi patch
and a little Nazi armband.
Yeah, he's got a Nazi armband.
What are you thinking? He's just got spikes. He's just like a worm. He kind of looks like a worm.
Well, we're building it out. This is the scribble. Right now I'm trying to figure out what to do with my rabbit. That's the hardest part right now. I'm trying to figure out what to do with the rat. Like, how do I draw the rabbit? Okay. Gosh, this is the weirdest thing I've ever drawn. Actually, no. One time I was at a con and this girl, she said, she's like, "Hi, can I hire you for a commission?" I said, "Yeah." She's like, "Okay, can you draw me and my 5 friends all sitting on meteors about to destroy the earth?" And I was like, "Geez, like, how much are you paying me for this?" And she was like, $100. I went, "Damn." And so she airdropped me all the pictures of her friends. And that's what I did for like that hour. And it was weird. And she was like, "Oh my gosh, this is the best." I'm like, "Thanks, but this is weird. I don't feel I'm never gonna." And then another guy, this was my first con, and I was still trying to learn how to draw traditionally and draw just in general. And this dad goes, "Huh?"
I would have questioned that girl's life choices. Be like, "What are you trying to tell me here, honey?"
I know, right? And then this dad once he paid me to draw all of his daughters as like superheroes, and I just remember the look like when I gave it to him. It was just a straight like disappointment, like of my art. It was like, man, I paid $20 for this, and I kind of like looked at him like, yeah, you did. I'm not impressed either.
It kind of stinks sometimes being a writer at a con because you can't like do stuff where you make quick bucks like commissions and stuff like that. But at the same time, I don't have somebody stand there and read my book and then say, "This sucked."
Exactly, and like critiquing it and being like, "Oh, well, you should have done this."
be like, yeah, you get to go home and then realize you don't like it. So
yeah. You can be disappointed at it you can be disappointed with it on your own time. Yeah. Well, I said at one con to get people at my table, I do magic tricks. And this guy gave me a $20 tip, but he was like, "I'm not interested in any of your comics. They look like crap, but I'll tip you for that magic trick." And that really hurt my feelings. All right. Let's see the chat. What's up, chat? Guys, this is going to be a really interesting show. So for those of you who have no idea what's going on and you're just tuning in, we've been given the prompt: banana, air balloon, Nazi monster, superhuman, rabbit hero. And Frank right now is writing said story, and I am drawing it out. And then once the stream is done, we will then put them together and see how it turns out. This was Frank's terrible idea, but I'm having a good time right now, honestly. Let's see. Freaking rabbit hero carrying guns. I hope, for all I know, this is going to turn into something really amazing. And then you and I are going to do a Kickstarter called Banana Air Balloon Nazi Monster Superhuman Rabbit Hero.
And then it's going to become a movie, and that dude from the chat is going to hit us up for
royalty. And we're going to say no. We're going to say no, back up, back off. You just gave us the idea, but you can't copyright an idea. Hey, Wendy, how you doing? Wendy Gale is in the house. Great. Now I got to freaking draw all of this. I don't even wait. If the bananas were to shoot out, are they being shot out peeled, unpeeled, or half peeled?
It's a variable speed switch on the side of his gun.
If you really want to do damage, it's unpeeled. Gosh, can you imagine like the lore that you could go into? Like his gun has 3 settings. If he really wants to hurt him, it's unpeeled. If he wants to stun him, it's peeled. And a little bit of both.
Deal with Microsoft Word. Is nunchucks 1 word or 2?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Going back to Google as a writer, I have to look up none.
Calvary Collective says half. I'll do half.
That's how you spell nunchucks. I guess maybe there is no right spelling of nunchucks.
Do you use like Grammarly?
I don't. I hear it's nice, but I'm an.
How do you edit your prose works?
I'm sorry. Say that again.
How do you edit your prose works? You just do an edit yourself.
I send it to an editor.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, I'm a big proponent of you can't edit a blank page. Just friggin' write the thing and then worry about it later. I mean, that's what I believe. That's not really what I do. I spend an hour and a half tweaking one sentence in order to sound exactly the way I want it to. It's weird. Sometimes you're writing and you're like, it's been 10 minutes and I finished 2 pages. Awesome. And the other times you're like, it's been 4 hours. How come I'm still on this paragraph? I also gave our hero a name.
Okay. What's his name?
Captain Hoppers.
I love it. Captain Hoppers. Gosh, this is going to be the coolest. This guys, don't even back my Kickstarter. Just wait. Just save all your money for the future collaboration that Frank and I do for this. Oh man.
All right. Let's jump into some pop culture. I always love discussing that. That's easy to talk about.
Yeah, okay. You give me some pop culture and I'll try to piggyback.
I just started Gotham on Netflix.
Thank you. How's it going? You
know what? I watched the first 10 minutes of the first episode, and I'm like, this is the worst thing I've ever seen in my entire life. It was very, very bad. The first 10 minutes were very bad. It got better. It got a little better, more engaging after that. But if you, I mean, if you've seen the whole thing.
I've seen every episode.
Yeah, so it's kind of hard to go back to the pilot and like remember what happened. But in the very first episode, in the first 10 minutes, they bring in some psychotic guy and he's screaming about, I want my pills. And then he grabs some cop's gun and shoots into the air. I need my pills. And then James Gordon comes in and he's like, I got your pills. And he takes a bottle of aspirin. I'm like, what am I watching right now? This is the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
Well, I can't say that it's going to get better after that.
Well, it was a little better. I'm on episode 4. I'm on halfway through episode 4.
One mark that I think they missed with Gotham was that I wish that they had turned it into a crime procedural, and they didn't.
Oh yeah.
That's one thing I think was that they missed. Was they could have done that because it gets pretty weird towards later seasons. Like pretty weird. But that also though, that's one of my favorite iterations of Alfred.
Yeah, he's weird. I mean, it's kind of hard for me to be talking about because I've only seen 3 episodes. In the first couple episodes, he's like really pissed at Bruce. He's like, you little shithead. I love you. Come on.
Oh yeah, no, he's super tough on Bruce, like throughout the whole show.
Yeah,
but he's also like he kicks so much ass throughout the show.
I was watching the 3rd episode last night, and in the opening sequence in the 3rd episode, I was like, I had my eureka moment where I like realized what this show is about. So I realized they try to do the look and feel of the Nolan movies, but the quirky campiness of the Adam West TV show.
Yes, that's such a good way to put it, because they try to have that dark moments, but there's a lot of campiness, especially when it comes to like Cobblepot, the Nigma.
Yeah. So in the opening sequence, I doubt you remember, but it's about Balloon Man.
Oh, I do remember that.
It's like all these guys are protesting because this guy stole everybody's money, and he's super dark, and it's kind of ultra realistic and a take on modern society. And then he just gets hooked up to the hot air weather balloon and get taken up into the sky.
Yeah.
Where did it come from?
So I remember, I think it was the first season. I think this is the first season. I stopped watching it because I was like, okay, this is stupid. And then the Red Hood gang came, and they made a really awesome trailer, and it was super noirish. And I was like, okay, I guess I'll jump back on. And that's why I kept going back to Gotham, because there were so many moments where I was like, this is stupid. And then they would come out with a really cool trailer for like a really cool, like 2-3 episodes they were building up to. And then I'd jump back in just so I could watch that. Chuck's Raw Reviews, how you doing, Chuck? Says, what is with all the weird dildos? That's a great question. They're bananas. So they're bananas. And we have been given the prompt to make a story called with the prompt Banana Air Balloon Nazi Monster Superhuman Rabbit Hero. And Frank is going to be writing this story, and I'm going to be drawing an illustration of it. And then by the end of the stream, in probably like 30 minutes, we will then bring the two together. And then Wendy Gale goes, I like Lieutenant Hoppers.
Lieutenant Hoppers. I chose Captain because he's fighting Nazis, and it made me think of Captain America. That's where that came from.
If I found out that one of the highest ranks in the Army is Admiral, like there's not a lot of them. So if I ever get to
Admiral was a Navy thing.
Oh, never mind. See, I don't know, Jack. See that? Did you know that because of research, or did you just knew that?
I don't know. I feel like I knew that. I think I knew that because of watching plenty of space sci-fi things, and an admiral is always in charge of the fleet.
Okay. Because I was like, man, I'll come up with a new villain. It's Admiral something, and he outranks Steve Rogers. Yeah, so I've got a ton of banana dildos, I guess.
Well, there's a great line in Ultimates, like the second issue of Ultimates, when Captain America wakes back up, the Mark Millar version. When Captain America,
the really dark, dreary one?
Yeah, when Captain America wakes back up and Fury goes and sees him. And I think he introduces himself as Colonel Fury, maybe. And Captain America immediately thinks that he's being brainwashed, and he tries to escape because he says, my friend is the highest ranking black man in the Army, and he's I don't know, something else, and he's not a colonel. Mm-hmm. So I don't know what made me think of that right now, but
I actually like the Ultimates. The Mark Millar stuff? I know it got a lot of hate.
I loved it. It was great. It was the first two were great, and I was so excited for the third one. And then I read it, and it made me hate Jeff Loeb forever.
Yeah, gosh. Jeff, like that might have been the last Jeff Loeb thing I read.
You know what? He's very hit or miss because I love all his color books. I
Oh
love
yeah, Spider-Man Blue.
Spider-Man Blue, Daredevil Yellow, Hulk Gray. I loved all that, and I loved The Long Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
And what was the sequel to that? Oh, now you're making me look.
Dark Victory.
Oh, you pulled that one.
Yeah, it's Dark Victory.
Right out of your ass. I thought both of those were great. I guess he's only good when he's with Tim Sale.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's only good when he's with Tim Sale. Chuck's Raw Review says, "How tough is it to talk and write, Frank? I played poker and wrote last night, but it was easier because I could write between hands. Heads up was impossible."
When I was in college, I used to write during poker. Yeah.
So how you start writing right now?
I can't write and talk at the same time. What I'm doing is I'm saying something, and then when Tyler talks, I'm pretending to listen, and I'm just kind of nodding my head.
And I can't even see your freaking head nod, so for all I know, I have no idea. I have no idea what you're doing. I just had to Google what bunny feet look like, so that was weird.
Yeah, you're putting too many sexual innuendos in this whole thing.
Chuck's Raw Reviews Ultimate was great, but yeah, left Loeb shit the bed on that. Yeah, I just thought it was I think I enjoy dark stuff. I enjoy dark things, but for me, I was like, this is just dark to be dark. And sometimes I don't appreciate that. Unless it's The Last of Us. Okay. Then Wendy Gale says, Ultimate Spider-Man is the series that really got me into comics. Oh, that's awesome.
Me too. I remember the issue. It was number 14. It was the first appearance of Dr. Octopus.
Wow. Comics.
Us comic nerds. We have those special moments.
Loeb's take on the Hero's Morning Cap's death was amazing. Oh, yeah. I think that arc was called Fallen Sun. That's a really good one. Yeah, it is. I've got it right here. Fallen Sun by Jeff Loeb.
I haven't read that.
It's pretty good.
I haven't read that, but you know what I did read? I read Fallen Sun when Sentry died after Siege.
Oh, I haven't read that. You know what's
It was SUN because I guess he's the power of the sun. I love Sentry. Is one of my favorite characters. I feel like people don't give any respect.
There's a whole fan club on Twitter just for Sentry fans. Like they're hardcore, like pissed that no one uses Sentry on anything.
I always wanted to write an ultimate version of the Sentry.
All right, now I gotta look at what a bunny's face looks like. Jeez. Drawing a freaking bunny.
So yeah, I'm watching Gotham is the show I'm watching by myself. And then my wife and I just watched the first episode of Hannibal.
Oh my god. Is that their first time watching?
Yeah.
Hannibal's in my top 3 favorite shows of all time.
But I heard it got canceled before they wrapped it up, so it's kind of just left hanging.
No, they finished it. Okay. It got canceled before they wanted to incorporate the Silence of the Lambs.
Oh, they never got it.
On the 4th season, and the people who own the rights wouldn't give it to them.
Okay.
So that's why they had it got canceled. But the 3rd one ended really well. I thought it's one of my favorite shows. Okay. Now I'm drawing freaking bunny ears. Jeez. Didn't think I was going to be doing this.
We only watched the first episode of Hannibal, but it was good. So we're kind of like, let's keep this sucker going. We just haven't had time to watch the second because children.
Dude, they're the worst. Why didn't you stop me before I had my first one?
It's not my job, dude.
No, I actually really enjoy it. I say that now, though. No, I really enjoy Parenthood, but man, it's been hard. It's been hard trying to like. I remember I made some YouTube videos, and it was like it's all about time management, and I think a couple creators were like, "You just wait till you're you'll realize how hard it is." I'm like, "Are you kidding me? It's all about time management." And now I'm like, "Yeah, it's hard." I get it. Kind of want to find those videos and delete them.
It's weird because when you have one kid, you're like, oh my god, this is so difficult. And then when two of my kids have a sleepover and we just have one, my wife and I, we just have one kid. This is gonna be easy. One kid.
Okay, let's see. Now I've got to make my freaking air balloon.
What are you watching?
I'm not watching a lot of things right now. I spent the last week dedicating myself to The Last of Us. And then right now, you know what I watch right now. If I do watch something, is I watch a lot of background stuff. So right now, what my background show I'm watching is Chopped.
Chopped?
Yeah.
My wife loves cooking shows. She loves cooking shows and HGTV shows, and she likes I don't know why she likes reality shows. She does. She watches Real Housewives and Chopped and Beat Bobby Flay. That's always a great one.
That's a fun one. Yeah.
You know what's big in my family? My kids love watching game shows. So
have you guys watched The Floor is Lava?
Yes, we watched that for dinner during dinner tonight. That's
Would you, if there was like a place like that in like the town you live in, would you go pay money to go try it out?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
It's funny because my 3-year-old is into it too. So I'm like, David, what's the floor? He goes, lava.
That's cute. Okay. Just delete this layer. This is where I'm at so far in the illustration.
This is where I'm at so far in my writing.
Dang. It's like a whole page.
It's like, let me see. I'll tell you how much it is. I got my at the top. Setting, air balloon, main character, rabbit hero, flying up. So I'll get rid of the notes because I don't need those anymore. And I've written 278 words.
Ichthus says, don't forget to add badges for Captain Hoppers. He has achieved a lot over the years to become captain. That's true. I got to add a captain badge on him. Actually, I should probably give him like a bulletproof vest.
Because the Nazi monster also has a gun.
Yeah. He has a Luger. Yeah, that's what I'm watching. I started watching and then I got detracted because of The Last of Us. I started watching The Last Kingdom on Netflix.
Okay.
And so like I'm Mormon but I'm pretty I'm pretty liberal about what I watch for the most part. And I work at a Mormon book publishing company, and my boss, she's like, Tyler, you should watch this. Like, it's one of my favorite shows. I went, okay. And like the first scene, there's like heads getting chopped off and it's super bloody. And I was like, I don't know if I'm watching the right thing. like I'm pretty sure she said this. And I went up and then I watched the second episode and there was a sex scene. And I was like, okay, I'm definitely not watching the right thing that she suggested. And I asked her, I was like, hey, is this it? She goes, yep. I'm like, what do you do about the sex scenes? I don't see you watching them. She goes, oh no, once they start kissing, you just got to fast forward. And I was like, oh, but I didn't even get a chance to sometimes. So
that's weird.
So I started watching that. Huh?
How do you know when to stop?
I don't know. You just pray.
Yeah, and what if like an important thing is happening while they're kissing? What if they like have?
No, that's the thing. Is during like in the middle of of one of the scenes while they're having sex, the guy goes, "Oh, I know what to do," and like while he's doing her, he's talking about the plan on how he's going to infiltrate this town, and I'm like, how did she like? That's such crucial information on the rest of the episode.
I just finished watching the show Californication. You know that show?
Oh yeah, it's got the guy from what's it called? X-Files.
Yeah, I watched all 7 seasons in like a month.
Wow, is that good?
What? It's okay. It's just it's on demand, and I put stuff up on when I'm doing other things, like when I'm doing the laundry or the dishes. So it's like, and the episodes are like.
What's it about?
He's a writer, and he moves to California to expand his career, and he gets like sucked into Hollywood, and he loses his family, and he gets depressed. So he just like bangs a bunch of chicks and drinks all the time, but he tries to get his family back, but he keeps screwing up. That's kind of.
That sounds really.
And my wife is like, "Are you like trying to live vicariously through this show?" But it's ridiculous because he has like a superpower where he just talks to a woman and they instantly want to have sex with him. It's really bizarre. Like they'll introduce a new female character every season or a couple, and I'm like, okay, this is going to be the character who decides not to sleep with him and is going to take that hard stance, and she's like, no, they all land them just bang.
I'm gonna take that hard stance.
So, yeah, it's a weird show about sex, but they get into some weird shenanigans, like scenarios happen. It's like, it's like a snowball effect, like screwball comedy, where this thing happens and this thing happens and this thing happens, and before you know it, they're in some ridiculous situation that nobody would ever find themselves in.
Oh yeah.
It gets very, very funny.
Well, that's good writing then.
Yeah, but it's like it's half of that, like ridiculous, absurd comedy, and then it's half drama where he's like, I'm still trying to win you back, and she's like, no, you screwed me over for the last time. So it's like very, very dark and serious.
Let's see. Wendy Gale says, I'm currently watching Supergirl. Eric Mogul, I've been watching The Expanse, and you know what? It is not good sci-fi. And then Zach says, have you guys seen Breaking Bad? I started watching Breaking Bad when my son was born, and I when I'd give my wife a break at night to sleep, I would stay up with him, and I was like, oh, I guess I'll start watching Breaking Bad. And there were moments where I'm like, maybe I should close your eyes on this, bud, even though he's a baby.
I watched when my youngest was born, my wife and I binge watched Shameless on Showtime.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is going to be a social experiment to see how subliminal television watching as a newborn can affect somebody as they're older. And you know what? He's the sweetest, loving kid. So,
all right, I'm going back to watching Breaking Bad.
Breaking Bad's one of the greatest shows because it's like they started climbing it got a lot better as the seasons went on, and you saw its popularity climbing as it got good, and then as it reached like peak popularity, they decided to end the show.
That's not a bad thing, though.
No, it was a great thing. It was a great thing. So it was. They never jumped the shark, you know.
I'm trying to think of shows that I felt like dragged on too long.
I don't know. There was plenty of them.
Oh yeah, Heroes. Did you ever watch Heroes?
I watched the pilot of Heroes. Well, the thing is, when Heroes came out, I was writing. Remember last year I did that story on Wattpad where I was similar to Serialized. It was kind of how I had the same idea.
Yeah.
Doing a different story a week. I did a chapter a day.
Yeah.
That story is kind of congruent to Heroes. A bunch of regular people get powers and they fight, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I was kind of like, damn it. It's like I didn't want to watch it. So I watched the pilot and then I didn't watch anything else.
Are there some shows or genres that you won't watch because you know that they might influence you to start a project that you probably shouldn't start at the moment? for example, my favorite genre to write and draw is crime noir, and I want to watch this movie called Den of Thieves, but I know that if I watch it, I'll start getting all these ideas for a story I want to write, and then I'm just like, you know what? I have things I got to get done first.
No. I hear a lot of people say that is that they don't want to see things because they don't want to be influenced. But I don't know. I don't really feel that way. I watch things all the time that are similar in style and tone to something that I want to work on.
Gotcha. Wendy Gale says,
I want to do something different. Probably.
Okay.
Really different all the time.
Wendy says, Heroes was only 3 seasons, but only the first one was good. Maybe that's why I felt like it went too long, because after the first season, I was like, oh my, end it, please.
You know what happens a lot of times is shows have a great premise and they kill it. And then once that premise is fulfilled, it's so popular they need to do another season, and they struggle to pivot. You know, they struggle to not, I wouldn't say stretch out they struggle to stretch out the premise. A great example of this was Lost.
Oh my gosh, don't get me started about Lost.
Lost was such a great couple of seasons, and then they're just like, we need to throw more mysteries into this. What can we do next? And it was like, no, the show was about a bunch of people on an island, and you're just getting weird. And
then it got so big to the point where they're like, I don't know, we don't know if we can keep going.
Yeah, they can't. There's a bunch of shows like that.
Okay, let's see.
All right, the big show was Boardwalk Empire.
I've never heard of that.
Boardwalk Empire is an HBO show about bootleggers in the 1920s.
Okay.
And they made a bold decision to kill off a main character at the end of season 2. And it was a bold decision, and it was great storytelling, but they struggled to pivot
after that.
Yeah. And
that's hard if you don't have another character that you can like pivot to that. Like you look at Game of Thrones and they killed Ned Stark, but they already had a good ensemble of characters that they could work with after that.
Well, what are you talking about?
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones. Oh yeah, no. Game of Thrones was they had so much going for it. Yeah.
But like right now, like with The Last of Us, a lot of people are angry because, spoilers, a certain main character dies, and people were really upset about it. But for me, I thought it was great storytelling. I'm one for main characters dying.
Yeah, I'm one for main characters dying as long as it is for the story and not for the sake of shock value. I feel like they do that a lot.
Yeah. And I thought for this, a lot of people thought it was for shock value. I thought it was for the story, and I will stand in my grave for that. I don't even know if I said that phrase right. I will go down in my grave, I think.
Jeez, you know what's tough about writing short stories is that you never know when and how to wrap them up. Like your drawing is done when it's done. Like what? I could have this battle go on forever.
You could also like in midst battle have flashbacks of previous encounters and crap, and you could go on forever and ever. You could.
Yeah. And suddenly, Captain Hoppers thinks back when he was injected with the Super Bunny serum.
Exactly. It's funny. I should send this. I got a friend named Tim Lim, and he does a book called Black Hops, and it's about this SWAT bunny, and it's published by Antarctic Press. All right. I was going to color this on stream, but I didn't realize this was going to take me this long. Hold on. Maybe I can. All right. Let's see. All right. Art of Read. Hello, friends. How you doing, Art of Read? We're like almost like kind of like at the end point, but what we've been doing is we were given a prompt: banana, air balloon, Nazi monster, superhuman, rabbit, hero. And then I was going to draw out the scene, and then Frank is going to write it. And so I have no idea what Frank's been writing, but I know it's good. And then once we're done with this stream, done with this, we will then share what we've done. And fingers crossed, it's awesome. I'm sure it is. Eric Mogul says, the thing about The Last of Us 2, I think you know whose death gets a lot of complaints because he wasn't acting in character. Eric, this is my thoughts on this. And I actually recorded a video the other day about this. A lot of people said that he didn't act in character because he trusted the WLF, but that's the old Joel. In The Last of Us, the first one, the whole point of the last one was that The Last of Us, number one, was that Joel was this hardened guy who didn't trust anyone, and he had kind of almost he'd basically lost his humanity and his belief in humanity. And at the end, he found his humanity through Ellie. And at the end of that, that for me, that was the end of his character arc. So that's why I believe that he was acting in character, because he had gotten his humanity back through Ellie, and that's why I thought he was very trusting of those people and willing to give them a chance to trust them, and it backfired. That's my personal belief. Everyone's entitled to their opinion, even though they're wrong. Joking. All right, I need to find a picture of the sky. The sky.
I'm wrapping it up. I'm getting to the climax.
Take your time. Take me there, man. Take me there.
I used your little Last of Us rant to try to bust out some.
No, you're good. Well, I'm right now. So, guys, what I'm going to do is I don't want to draw a sky because, well, quite frankly,
let me see that thing.
What I've got so far?
No, kind of, yeah.
This is what I've got so far. So I want to make a sky.
You're just gonna cheat. You're just gonna find a sky and just put it there.
Yeah, I am.
Too. You know what? I'm gonna Google banana Nazi hunter bunny. Steal story off the internet, and then
and they'll be like, "Man, no one's ever attempted something this crazy." All right, and then we're gonna freaking racist. Zach, hey, just wondering, what are your thoughts on the Walking Dead comic book? I have the first, I think 27 volumes of that, and I really enjoyed them. It just got to a point, and then I was watching the show at the same time, and I thought it was cool. It got to a point personally for me where I just was like, I don't really care about this story anymore, so I kind of dropped off on the comic, but I enjoyed it. I thought what Robert Kirkman did was cool. I like the backstory of how he did it, where he told Image that there was going to be aliens and space stuff, and when Eric Stevenson went to Robert Kirkman and said, "Hey, where are all the space stuff?" He's like, "Oh, I lied." And they said, "Well, what do you mean?" He goes, "It's just a story about a family trying to survive the zombie apocalypse." And they're like, "Well, had you just told us that, it would have been fine." But I actually don't think that's true. I think they would have denied him. So I'm kind of glad that he lied. But yeah, it's an awesome comic. I mean, Robert Kirkman is one of those creators where he's kind of like the poster child of what happens when you love the medium so much and you grind. I mean, I think it was Battle Pope that he did, and he was paying his artists off like 4 different like credit cards. Like, he was so in debt. And then finally, he hits this breaking point with like Invincible and The Walking Dead, and they become successful. So he took risks and he really went for it. But also he hustled. He hustled so hard. He went to conventions. He went to Eric Larson, Savage Dragon creator, and was like, "Hey, do you need a ride to the airport?" And he took Eric Larson to the airport. Apparently they got lost on the way, and so
they got lost.
Yeah, exactly. They got lost. Like, oh, looks like we're lost, Eric. Anyway, so another one.
You're stuck in the car for me for the next hour and a half.
What do you think about this idea? Yeah, so just funny. Like, I think, I like The Walking Dead. I like Robert Kirkman. Some of his stuff is good. Some of it I don't enjoy personally. I don't know. What are your thoughts, Frank, who's trying to wrap up our story?
Thoughts on what? Hustling Frank, and grinding?
Robert Kirkman or Walking Dead?
I actually haven't read or watched any Walking Dead.
Well, there you go. I mean,
yeah, that's the end of that. Yeah. You know what? I hear Walking Dead is good, but when it was on, it's not on anymore, right? It's over.
No, it's still on. It's got one more season, I think.
Oh, well, I see people posting. It was on Sundays, right? I see people every Monday complaining about it. So I'm like, okay. I mean,
yeah, every Monday people, because I would watch the episode and then on Monday everyone would complain about it. Here's the problem with the Walking Dead TV show is the first episode was always really good. The second of each season, the first episode was really good. The second, third, and fourth episode sucked. The fifth episode, right before the mid-season finale, would be dope. Then the mid-season finale would be awesome. And then the episode, the mid-season premiere was awesome. And then the next 4 or 5 episodes sucked because they were so slow. And then the season finale was dope. And it just got really slow and sloggy. And you're just like, gosh, I just don't care. Get to the good stuff, please. Like, I beg of you, get to the good stuff. So those are my thoughts on The Walking Dead. Let's see. Eric Mogul, would have been really wild if there had been aliens. Wendy Gale, have you ever read or watched Preacher? I have not. Frank, have you ever read or watched Preacher?
You know what? I downloaded Preacher on my Kindle. I like the first volume. I read the first issue, and I got distracted, so I haven't started yet. But I haven't read any more since. But I have not watched the show, but eventually I get around to finishing the graphic novel. There's so many good comics; it's hard to read them all.
Not only are there so many good comics, but there's a lot of comics that are like really revered that I feel like as a comic book fan, I'm obligated to buy and read because of them. And then I always kind of am disappointed maybe in myself or the creation when I don't like it. One of those examples is when I first started getting into comics and buying comics, everyone was saying, "Oh, you gotta read Sandman. It's the best." And
I own every volume of Sandman, the original, not the new stuff. But
the original. And so I bought the box set and I read the first volume and I didn't enjoy it.
It's a certain type of fantasy.
Yeah, maybe that's it. That's not like my favorite genre.
The first volume is one of the weaker ones, but it's a very particular type of fantasy, and it's great when you have those long running series that are just by one writer, who you could tell that their publisher really gave them a lot of leeway to tell the story that how they wanted. You know, he really builds out a great world.
Well, that's the thing, and that's one of the I have it. And it's one of my goals to, I own all 10 of the original volumes to read it. So maybe I gotta sit down and just plow through the first one, plow through the first season, let them world build, and then after that, give it a good shot. All right. Where are you?
I want to read this. I got like a sentence or two left.
All right. I'm finishing up my grays. All right, everyone. And remember, if you also participated and wanted to write the short story or you drew along, we don't expect anyone to actually do it. But if you did, feel free to post it in the Draw and Talk Discord channel. Oh, let's see. Let's make the bananas a little grayer, little light gray.
Do bunnies even like bananas?
No, they like carrots.
Well, I actually have 2 bunnies.
Do you?
Yeah, their names are Ginger and Daisy. They were supposed to be 2 girls, and Daisy's a boy. And my wife's like, let's change his name. I'm like, fuck no. His name's Daisy. But we've never fed them bananas. Do rabbits eat bananas?
I fed a banana. I fed a banana while
Simple answer is yes, they can eat bananas. There was one time where we had some leftover avocado, and I'm like, I gave it to them, and then I was saying, can bunnies eat avocado? I'm like, let me Google it. And it said, do not give bunnies avocado. It is poison. Like, okay. Let me go back in and get that thing.
All right, let's see.
All right, I'm finished.
All right, this is a really big moment. This is really exciting.
Time?
Yeah, I think we did.
All right. Should I read this sucker? I haven't really read it.
So my Nazi monster is down.
It's single space. It's one page.
We're just gonna take it as it is.
470 words. All right, you ready?
All right, everyone, drum roll. Let's do it.
After sabotaging the experiments, Captain Hoppers never looked behind him. He could hear the roar echo through the field. No matter how fast he hopped, he could sense the monster gaining on him, its hot onion breath practically right behind him. There was no means of escape, no cars, no motorcycles, just a single hot air balloon waiting to be snatched. With his banana bazooka and nunchucks dangling at his sides, Captain Hoppers jumped in the basket, kicked the burner, and lit that sucker up. The flame burst into the balloon, inflating it up and revealing the giant swastika on the side of it. I have to change that because you put a bunny thing on it. It was supposed to be a Nazi air balloon. You stole it from the Nazi. How are you supposed to know that? You're not inside my head. Anyway, we'll let that slide.
There you go.
Captain Hoppers hated flying. Captain Hoppers hated flying such a hard symbol, but he didn't have time to contemplate such things. It was life or death, and right now, social justice took a backseat to escape. The balloon was flying higher, 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 so high that Captain Hoppers thought he might have actually pulled it off and defeat his Nazi adversaries. But the monster roared again, this time louder and more forceful than before. A moment later, the base exploded. Fire, smoke, and green Nazi gas flew into the air, reaching nearly as high as the balloon itself. As the smoke wafted away and the gas dissipated, the monster was revealed, staring Captain Hoppers in the eye. Without delay, Captain Hoppers lifted his banana bazooka and turned the dial to fully peeled and pulled the trigger. One after the other, bananas launched through the air at bullet speed, striking the monster in the face. It roared and took off, circling the hot air balloon like a predator sizing up its prey. Captain Hoppers continued firing, but his trail of bananas was always a step behind. Suddenly, the monster turned straight to the balloon, its claws raised and ready to attack. Sensing his incoming doom, Captain Hoppers tilted the burner, abruptly veering the balloon to the side. The monster soared by the balloon, missing it entirely, but Captain Hoppers struggled to correct the basket and lost his bazooka over the side. The balloon began spinning, twirling and flipping wildly out of control. Realizing he needed an exit, Hopper snatched his banana nunchucks from his belt and launched out of the basket. He dove through the air, colliding with the monster and wrapping the nunchucks around its neck. The monster gurgled and wheezed as Hopper choked the life from him. Unable to keep himself afloat, the monster plummeted to the ground, but Hoppers never let go. He kept the pressure on his banana nunchucks all the way to the point the monster slammed into the dirt, dead as could be. Satisfied with his victory, Captain Hoppers leapt off the monster's back and gave its corpse one last kick for good measure. He then unpeeled his nunchucks and took a bite, a much-needed snack for a job well done. The end.
I dig it. You know what? You should totally email. You should email that to me, and then I'll send you the image, and I'll post it on my social media. And be like, this is what shenanigans we can get up to in an hour. Not bad.
Not bad for an hour. If only I could have put that towards the project I'm actually working on.
Maybe what you need to do is you just need to start a Twitch channel where you're streaming and everyone's like putting pressure on you, like, hurry, write your novel, hurry.
Well, the thing is, I wasn't really caring what I wrote here. I was kind of just going off the cuff, so I really didn't care how it sounded, but it came out okay.
No, it came out great. Wendy Gale says, I love it, Frank. Marissa says, where are the posts again? You can post in the Discord in the challenge section. Let's actually see if anyone actually did it.
Captain
I don't
Hopper
think anyone.
and the Nazi Escape. That's the name of the story.
Oh, someone totally did. Someone totally did it. Hold on.
What?
Discord.
Somebody told
Someone
me.
drew.
Somebody
Someone drew the
story.
Someone drew Captain Hoppers. Yeah. Let me pull it up. If my computer wasn't so slow right now and freaking out, I want to open Discord in my browser. Shut up. Come on. I'm Zenmore. Heads up. Oh, awesome, Marissa. Yeah, okay, so you're Zenmore. Awesome. That's awesome. Let me I'm trying to pull it up real quick. My computer is literally at its end. Zenmore. No, lucky thing about my drawing tablet is that the company that made it is Chinese and they've gone out of business. So I can't use my drawing tablet on my Mac because they haven't updated the driver. And it angers me so much. Okay, let's see. Remove this, stop screen, and then we will share screen. All right, and this is Marissa's.
See it.
Here's Marissa's illustration.
Oh, nice.
Dig it.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking maybe we should make the hot air balloon a banana. That was my original thought.
Oh, that would have been a good idea.
But
she nailed it.
I did not speak up. I kept my silence, and she
She got the Adolf stash, Adolf hair. She went for it.
Yeah,
she was bolder than us.
She was bolder.
We didn't take the necessary risks to get a banana float. No, that's awesome. Yeah, let me see. Let me challenge submissions. Oh, that's dope. Well, Marissa, very glad to have you do that and be part of the Discord. We'll have to get you to be part of our 2021 anthology that we do. Okay.
Tales of Captain Hoppers.
The Tales of Captain Hoppers. Yes. Oh, if my laptop just shuts down, I gotta make sure that I save this. That will be so depressing if I have to rewatch this screen. All right, Captain Hoppers.
All right.
JPEG. All right, that was fun, Frank.
Thank you for letting me hijack your show here. I think it was fun.
You're always welcome to hijack my show, but give it another go, dude. Tell us about Serialized and why should we follow along Serialized?
Why follow along Serialized? Because it is a collection of 12 short stories, and they're crazy stories because they span a whole spectrum of genres. They got action, adventure, fantasy, sci-fi, horror, suspense, but there's a thread weaving between them that kind of have it all come together in the end. And the stories are connected in a small way, and you're not going to figure it out really because it's you're going to read them and you're going to think of how could these possibly be connected, but they are, and hopefully a big reveal in the end will have people going. But yeah,
well, guys, if you like Frank's stories, do it. I mean, wait, so if I read them all, will it be impossible for me to find out how they're connected?
No, you can guess. You can certainly guess. I'm sure somebody's going to come up with how they're all connected, but they're meant as standalone stories, meaning you could read any of them without any pre-knowledge of the others and still enjoy this as a story. But I've dropped hints throughout as to what's going on, or Like, could it be clones or time travel or alternate dimensions, or how are these stories related? So, yeah, I'm releasing one every Monday throughout June, July, and August. I think last week we reached the halfway point, or this week. Yeah, this week was a halfway point, so we got 6 weeks left. But they're all on my website. So if you want to read all the previous ones that were released, you could just go on there and check them out, or you could sign up to have the stories sent to your inbox every Monday.
That's dope. All right, guys. And I put it in the link in the chat. It's also in the link in the description. Go check out Serialized, a free short story collection. You can either sign up for the mailing list, or you can read the stories on franktherewriter.com. Also, remember, guys, we have 13 days left for Entity, my current Kickstarter. 13 days. I didn't do a 20-page campaign, a 20-day campaign. I did I didn't do a 30-day campaign. I did a 20-day campaign. So if you really want the book, now is the time. We're at 62 backers. I'd love to get to 70 or 71. I'd love to hit 100. So if you haven't checked out Entity, feel free to do so. And there's a link in there as well where you can read the first 20 pages for free to see if it's something that you'd like to jump on. If you like the story, please back the book. If you don't like the first 20 pages, I hope to get you on the next book. Frank, thanks so much for being here.
It's been fun. Peace out.
All right, guys, remember to smash that like button, smash that subscribe button. We'll see you with a new video sometime this week.